Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right. This is going to be a reading on Mike Johnson and his coordinated efforts to help have the GOP in the House help Donald Trump out with his court conviction in New York. Additionally, I'm going to also throw on a New York rep named Claudia Tenney, who is lobbying the governor of New York to pardon Trump for this political witch hunt. As a background, when Trump was convicted of these crimes, the 34 felonies, reports were that he reached out to Mike Johnson and said, we need to get these things overturned. So, like the mafia boss that he is, Mike Johnson understood that that was an order to do something. So Mike Johnson came up with a 3-point plan. One is a bill to allow current and former presidents to move state civil or criminal cases to the federal courts. Another one is to, from Jim Jordan, which is to subpoena Attorney General Alvin Bragg. And then the last is through appropriations, attack funding on certain things like, say, special counsels like Jack Smith. So I want to look at these various things. So obviously, this criminal conviction of Trump seems to have really just popped his balloon. It's really deflated. And even though the Republicans got 3 felony convictions on Hunter Biden, Donald Trump is just losing his mind. He is absolutely losing his mind. He's ranting about sharks and batteries, claims that Nancy Pelosi would have been his girlfriend once upon a time. That's assuming that he means Nancy Pelosi and not Nikki Haley, because he can't get those names right. He's offering everything under the sun to oil executives and big business CEOs. He's complaining that he called Taylor Swift pretty and she's not supporting him in the elections. Just everything. This guy's life is just spinning out of control. And it's there for everybody to see. So I want to look at how the House members, if their efforts to help Donald Trump are going to bear any fruit here. Let me move this out of the way. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to start with Miss Tony here. Her name is Claudia Tenney. She's a representative from District 24, and she issued a letter to Governor Kathy Hochul. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name incorrectly. Quote, this case regarding his 34 felony convictions. This case undermines the impartiality and credibility of our once venerable justice system and cannot be allowed to stand. As a member of the New York Bar and daughter of the New York State Supreme Court Justice, I'm appalled by the unethical, politically motivated antics of Judge Merchan. He imposed unnecessary and unconstitutional gag orders on President Trump, former President Trump, effectively silencing him and hindering his ability to campaign freely. False. In her letter, she said that Alvin Bragg should be removed, claiming his office targeted individuals in search of crimes. God, that sounds like the Republican impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. Millions of Americans, even those who don't support President Trump, would agree with my assessment of this case and fully support pardoning of President Trump. I had to read that. My poor brain cells. They're just being assaulted here. Okay, Miss Claudia Tenney. How successful is this little shindig gonna work out for you? 3 of Wands. Again, mind you, Claudia Tenney is a MAGA supporter extraordinaire. 3 of Wands, waiting for your ship to come in, planning for the future. When Donald Trump said that he wanted the election overturned, Mike Johnson had his 3-point plan, but Kathy Tenney said, here, hold my white claw. I have an idea. I will beseech the governor myself. After all, I'm a New York rep. The governor will listen to me. Now, do I really think the governor is going to listen to Kathy Tenney? No. But it looks good. And she can say to people how she's went out there and fought for Trump. Crossed with the Four of Cups. She might have... How interesting. Part of Trump's... Mike Johnson's 3-point plan... And I think she offered that she was going to do this fourth thing. And he was kind of meh. Go ahead, whatever. I got my 3-point plan. You want to do yours, you could be a lone wolf. It's like he thinks his 3-point plan is going to be successful. She thinks her letter is going to be successful. So, Americans everywhere are going to celebrate Kathy Tenney taking action here. Letting the governor know that Judge Merchan is evil, as is everybody in the district attorney's office. And Americans are will celebrate her victory if she just pardons Donald Trump. Actually, I really think this is the governor looking at it going, yeah, I don't think so. We got a conviction here, and people are quite happy with it. 34. Yeah, 34. Wouldn't it be funny if they overturned one? Okay, we overturned one. I pardon you on one of your convictions. You still have 33 to go. In the past, you got the Chariot card, the 7th card of the Major Arcana. This is just, it's more of the same. Trump is asking for favors. He's not liking what's happening here. Go out and save me. Overturn this. This court case went through the system. This whole investigation went through the system. It got investigated. It went through a grand jury. It went through the court systems. Court dates were set. Court dates were extended. Trial happened. Jury verdict made. Trump couldn't keep his mouth shut. Had to get gag ordered. And in the end of the day, everything worked out in this trial the way it was supposed to. And Trump can appeal it. Current situation, Ace of Swords. Justice was served. We went through the jury trial system. Justice was served. Overarching energy is the Moon card. Just like my other video that's going up on Saturday. Trump's dementia is out there for everybody to see. Trying to get this overturned, appealed, it's not going to work. There's really nothing to appeal. The judge did a great job of making this a non-appealable case. Mind you, me, and everyone else who is not legally minded, but likes law and order and likes respect of the courts and the judges, was appalled by Trump's behavior. And we were upset that Judge Merchan just basically let Trump steamroll him. But these judges know things that we don't know, not the least of which is what's going to get their case overturned on appeal or what's going to prevent the appeal from being successful. So Merchan just took all the insults and the demeaning comments and everything like that, and he just parked it somewhere, found his little happy place, got through the court case, and now Donald Trump is not going to have any ability to appeal this. And I think the governor is like, hey, yeah, you must think I'm crazy if you think I'm going to appeal this. But I think it's more his dementia on the way. The lesson to be learned, the court system worked. Court system worked on this, and there was going to be fines. There could be sentencing coming on here. I'm not seeing anything about the governor here. Trump will, honestly, from the looks of this, Trump is going to, when the criminal case goes for sentencing, Trump is going to get sentenced. He is going to be fined, which is not a big deal. Unless we're talking hundreds of $millions, it's really not a big deal. But he's also going to get some time. behind bars. Because not once during that trial did he ever show respect to the court, respect to the jury. He attacked the judge's daughter. He violated his gag order 10 times. Shoot, man, if you just sentenced him for 30 days for each violation and made him consecutive, there's 10 months in prison. That might be 10 months more than we were expecting him to get. Will the governor, now, since I didn't get a reading on an answer on that one, I will throw a little four-carder. Will the governor even entertain this letter for a pardon? Or does she have a cockatiel that needs some fresh lining at the bottom of its cage? The Fool card. Oh, yes, I'll tell you what. I'll just go walk off this cliff and I'll pardon him and walk off this cliff because it would be political suicide for me to do this. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get right on that. Oh, how stupid do you think I am? No. Oh, yes, I would love to be really generous with and pardon him, but, he kind of did it. What do we got? Is the governor going to do this? No, the governor's not. No, it would be foolish to do it. Just say goodbye to your political career. You might as well. You're walking away from your constituents. You're walking away from the rule of law. No, it's not. The governor's not going to do it. Just going to that's real nice. Just leave that paper on the table over there. The governor's not going to do it because think of the message it would send. Talk about the two-tier justice system and cronyism under the guise of, there are genuinely people that need to be pardoned. He is not among them. No, it's not happening. Just these two cards here alone would tell you that. No, she's going to walk away from that. Heck, if anything, she might campaign on it. Tough on crime. Don't the Republicans want their governor to be tough on crime? It seems to me, when I was a Republican, that was one of the standard Republican catchphrases. Tough on crime. So she held a guy accountable for 34 felony counts and didn't pardon him. Nice try, though. Yeah, just leave it on the table over there. I'll get to it as soon as I can. She comes back 4 years later. It's still sitting on that table with an inch of dust on top of it. I don't know. Maybe the cleaning crew will dust around it. I don't know. Okay. Mike Johnson. He's got his 3-point plan. How effective is this 3-point plan going to be? Going to pass a law preventing that allow presidents to move state court cases into the federal courts. He's going to defund Jack Smith, and he's going to stricken the letter M from the alphabet. No, that wasn't it. What was the other one? I've forgotten already. So much craziness, so little time. What was the next one? Subpoena Attorney General Alvin Bragg. Let's see, how is Mike Johnson's 3-point plan going to come out here? Page of Pentacles. All right, here we go. Messaging. All right, we got ourselves a plan. This is a great plan. Probably the biggest part of the plan, or the only threat left in the plan, is going to be the defunding of Jack Smith, the reducing of funding for special counsels. But he thinks that he can maybe make some help Trump out with that part of it. He thinks he can get some notice. Trump will notice him because he's the type of guy that's going to take care of business, take care of dear leader. In the past, you got the 2 of coins, diminished returns, diminished values, flipping. It's funny, Trump, he still supports Mike Johnson, even though Mike Johnson doesn't... Okay, let's see. In the past, I think Mike Johnson was weighing this plan here. Or his support from Trump has been up and down. Maybe he views this as a way to be in Trump's good graces, and it doesn't cost him that much politically to do it. That's kind of the vibe I get from him. He's kind of a reptile, a snake like that. It's like, oh yeah, I can help you. It's like this isn't going to cost me any points, so yeah, I can do this for you. Current situation is the Four of Swords. Yeah, but the thing is, Johnson's 3-point plan isn't exactly... It's not a fast-moving plan. And it's one that you can kind of... you make the pronouncement that you're going to do this. You take all the accolades from Trump, and you've been thinking, yeah, I'll do this. This isn't going to cost me too much, but I don't have to do this particularly quickly. I've already got what I want from Trump, which is his support. Trump's going to have so many things going on, he's going to forget about Mike Johnson's 3-point plan. The most visible thing you're going to have is Alvin Bragg being brought before Jim Jordan's committee, and which I believe is the Judicial Committee. But that's going to take time for that to happen, and probably, honestly, will probably never happen. So didn't cost me anything on that. That's Jim Jordan's thing to worry about. I just announced it, and holding up funding for special counsels and things like that. Yeah, I can mess with things and prevent appropriations and stuff like that. Yeah, I can throw wrenches into that work. That's not going to cost me anything. Nobody, the average public isn't going to care. Well, you and I would care, but the MAGA folks won't care. They're not going. It's not like he's shutting down the government type of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that one will work fine. And then what's the other one? Oh, this law. Yeah, this law's going nowhere. This law's not going to go anywhere. You really think they're going to pass that law? They'll get it through the House. There's no way they get it through the Senate. There's no way Biden signs it, and there's no way that they would overturn it. I don't know. Maybe Biden would sign it. Overarching energy is the 9 of coins with this 3-point plan here. Yeah, Johnson's going to reap all the benefits from it. I supported Donald Trump. He asked me to help out, and I'm helping. I'm doing my part. Lesson to be learned is the Ace of Swords. It doesn't matter what he does, though. He knows he can't really do anything about it. The truth in the law is going to win out on this one. All he can do is kind of slow down the money and slow down the law. He can't derail this. He can't overturn this. Trump is stuck. Johnson can only do so much. His hands are tied. Trump is stuck. His hands are tied. This whole 3-point plan is going nowhere fast. And I'll throw on each of the 3-point plans to see if we get any of those cards coming up again here. Nico's still sleeping. Very, very quiet. Don't want to wake him up. Okay. The bill. 4 carders for all of these 3. The bill that will allow presidents, present and former presidents, to move state, criminal, and civil trials out of state court to federal court. What's the energy looking like on that one? Would you really want to do... I mean, that makes no sense. You're allowing the Biden crime family to move cases to the federal courts. Why would you do that? 9 of Swords. Yeah, I think the complications from this would be bad. Is this going to go through? This is a no card. Absolutely not. It would just... This would be like giving presidents absolute immunity. That's just not how it works. You're going to do... And honestly, for the Republicans, you're going to take away states' rights? You're going to give states' rights to the feds? Oh, nobody likes this bill. The only people that like this bill are the Trump fanatics in Congress in here. They're going to talk about it. It's a window dressing. They can tell Trump, hey, we looked at it, but we couldn't get enough. We couldn't get the votes for it. Life's hard. Trump will be, he'll be appreciative that they tried. Hey, we tried. If we could have gotten this thing through, we would have done it, but we just don't have enough votes. And even if they could get it through the House, and Trump does have enough support in the House, this is one of those things that the House members, even the Republicans that are spineless, are like, yeah, really can't do that one. Really can't. Even if they could have gotten it through the House, it's not going to get through the Senate. You think Schumer's going to let that thing hit the floor? Please. And even if Schumer hit it the floor, Democrats would vote no. And the Republicans should be voting no too, given their historical bends of states' rights. And even if they pass that, Biden's not going to sign that, unless he's expecting a lot of state charges to come his way. In which case, maybe he'll sign it. Then he can move it to federal courts, and then President Harris could pardon him or something along those lines. Which is dumb. The subpoena of Alvin Bragg. How is that going to work out? Is that gonna move this case any forward to get this conviction overturned? 4 of Wands. Don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. I actually think, you know what? Honestly, it looks like Alvin Bragg might show up. They may not tell him to pound sand. We got the Hanged Man, the World card, and the 8 of Coins, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, I think what I'm getting from here is that Congress, Jim Jordan really wants Alvin Bragg to show up. He really wants him there. And he wants him there in a hurry because right now people give a flying crap about Alvin Bragg and the Attorney General for New York. So they want to move quickly, recklessly fast to get him in there. But here's the thing. Alvin Bragg is under no obligation to report into this committee. Absolutely none. He can absolutely run out the clock on this because he's got a very busy schedule and they just can't seem to get the time. Maybe when he's supposed to show up, he has to decline because he's got other things that take precedent over it. And Jim Jordan could subpoena him, but there's no... You can't subpoena him. You can't. You don't have a legal right to do it. I mean, basically, the feds have no oversight to what the district attorney in a state does. You see what I'm saying? You don't have that power over him. But what else do we have here? So Alvin Bragg can run out the clock. But we have the Hanged Man and the 8 of Coins. I think what we have here, though, is an opportunity if you don't take your time. Because let's say 2020, let's say he runs out the clock and it goes into 2025, and now you've got the Democrats over there. They could invite him to testify, and he could come out, and he can explain everything he did to the American people and how he followed the law, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. How it was just strict paperwork, police work, following the letter of the law. There's no witch hunt here. There's nothing like that. And you've now neutered that House committee. I think it's going to be the Judicial Committee, because now the Democrats are in charge of it. Yeah, there's going to be screaming and yelling from like the 4 Republican members of it, but for the most part, it's just going to be noise, sound bites for Fox, and the rest of it's going to be out for the American people to watch and be unimpressed with the complete lack of conspiracies involved with it. Okay, so the law is going nowhere. They're not going to get Alvin Bragg to the court beforehand. At least the vibe. If I were Alvin Bragg, the heck, I'm going to go ahead of in front of all those Republicans and get roasted alive. They can go pound sand. I'll go when the Democrats are on there. Okay, what's my last one here? Appropriations. Jack Smith. How will the appropriations help overturn the election? Overturn the court convictions, the 34 felonies. Remember, this whole thing was to overturn these convictions. I don't know how that's going to work out, but okay. Overarching energy. Will this overturn the convictions? No. No. Nice try. Swing your sword wildly for a little bit. It might, again, I think what this is more of an annoyance or a nuisance maneuver than anything else. This is probably the only thing that's going to work for the Republicans. And again, it's just going to be a nuisance. It's because it's going to make things a little bit more burdensome for the appropriations. Here we go, because this was in the other reading. Holding up the money. Holding up the money. So, no. We have a lot of questions before we give the special counsel money. You need to prove to us that you're doing what you said you were going to be doing, and this might take a while. Yeah, they'll hold up some cash. They'll promise that they'll get the cash quickly, but it's just trying to hold things up. They're trying to make something bigger than what's really out there. But in the end of the day, they can only hold it up. They can only hold up appropriations for about 6 months, 7 months. And then after that, the Democrats are in charge again. And then it's full speed ahead. So the Republicans are doing what they can do right now just to slow things down, throw spanners in the works, that type of thing, or wrenches in the works for the Americans. All right. Is there anything else I want to read on this one? I kind of want to read. Is Mike Johnson going to be in trouble for all this? Now, Mike Johnson's going to have his own troubles, but these court cases for Trump and his 34 felonies are not among them. Yeah, basically, Mike Johnson's being a reptile. He's like, yeah, I can help you with this. There's only one thing that he can do that's going to make a modicum of difference. And the other things aren't going to be effective, but he can say he tried and get the accolades from Trump and just move on with his life. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I've got 3 channels. I got this one. I've got Tarot of the 7 Seas, and I've got Twin Tarots with Gary and David. If you like these videos, check out the other ones. Tarot of the 7 Seas is my overseas, EU-specific type channel. And Twin Tarot with Gary and David is just me and my brother having a great time looking at tarot cards and being snarky. Thank you again for all your support for this channel. For folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. Glad you found us. Hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.